Hello, it's Randi Rhodes. Here's a clip from our show, and go to randyrhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.
Mary had a little man.
The fault. We believe that all men are created equal.
To the magnificent mosaic that is America.
From radio beacon to radio beacon. I have a dream today. Change has come to America.
Believe me.
Knock, knock. Who's there?
It's a figment of your imagination.
Randi Rhodes Show.
Turn up your mind.
Ooh! Flash sale, everybody. Flash sale. Yeah, Herky Jerky just told me that the next 7 people that place an order at herkyjerky.com will get a free pack of beef jerky with their purchase. You could choose original, spicy, or teriyaki. So the next 7 people that place an order at herkyjerky.com or call Jason and place an order, the next 7 will get a free pack of beef jerky, original, spicy, or teriyaki, up to you. That was very nice of him. Thank you, Jason. All right. Just a little proof here about the way that these Republicans are lying to you, okay? They are lying to you about something that we all give a rat's ass about this election. I know that I am voting for health care. This is what I need. This is what I want. I also would like to make a little history in Florida and vote for the first African-American governor. Therefore, I will show up and I will be voting for Andrew Gillum in Florida. I will vote for Bill Nelson. And then I will, vote against dog racing. I mean, everything is on the ballot, including cruelty to animals. All this stuff is always on the ballot. And you have to show up. You do. Because if it's close, they're going to say something wasn't right. Georgia is doing such voter suppression. I mean, remember the story where Georgia said that they were going to close 7 of the 9 polling places, polling stations in a 60% African-American community in a district? And of course, everybody heard about it and forced the guy who was running the elections to resign. But still, you got Brian Kemp, who is the Secretary of State who's responsible for running the Georgia elections, running as governor at the same damn time and not recusing himself from the Secretary of State duties, while he's running for governor, which would be the decent thing to do, not to run your own election. And now you know about the 53,000 pending voter registrations they're pending. They haven't been approved. Because they're not an exact match. A hyphen might be missing. A period after a middle name. You might have signed junior on one piece of paper that the government has, and on the other one you might have put a Roman numeral. Do you know what I'm saying? And if it's not an exact match, they are holding your voter registration. Doesn't mean you can't vote. They're just telling you that you're not registered to suppress you from showing up. But if you show up, you can vote. This is the dirty little secret. Well, check this out. A lot of people are voting, mail-in in Georgia. Mail-in. They are rejecting Asian names. They are rejecting what they think are Muslim names. And they are rejecting what they think are African-American names for not having identical signatures. Now, who are these people that are rejecting your mail-in ballot? Well, they ain't handwriting experts. They're just people that work at the polling places, that volunteer, that are into voter suppression. And they are literally not telling you that your ballot's been rejected because they don't think. Now, remember, elderly people may have signed their Social Security card when they were teens, and now maybe they have a little bit of benign palsy, or they have arthritis, and their signature is slightly different than it was when they were 20, and they're rejecting, and they're not telling you that you've been rejected so that you can go down and sign in front of them or make it right. I mean, this, and you can blame the Supreme Court for this one, because Georgia and the entire South pretty much used to be on the pre-clearance list, meaning if they were going to institute these new rules for voting, or if they were going to shut down polling places or move them, or if they were going to say exact match, which wasn't the case before, or if they were going to say exact signature match, which wasn't the case, they had to get pre-clearance from the feds in order to do these things. Well, the Supreme Court said racism is over. Racism is over. We have a white supremacist as a president. Orange is the new white. And they're lying to you about the healthcare issue. Oh, my God. Oh, we care about pre-existing. 19 Republican states have joined Texas's attorney general in a lawsuit in front of the courts to say that pre-existing conditions are, to cover them, to force insurance carriers to cover them when you buy insurance, is unconstitutional. And these are the people that are saying, we care about pre-existing. When I saw Ted Cruz in Texas, the Attorney General of Texas is the person that filed the lawsuit. 19 other red states signed on, and the Trump administration refuses to defend the existing law, which is the ACA, which is Obamacare. They refuse to defend it. So we're not even represented in court by the government. How's that going to go for us? And they still have the balls to stand there and say pre-existing conditions. Martha McSally said it. Ted Cruz said it. Donald Trump says it. They all say it. It's sick. It's sick.
From false claims about the migrant caravan to imaginary riots in California to dreamed-up tax cuts on the horizon. It turns out that many Republicans running for the House and Senate are also being less than generous, to put it kindly, in their attempts to get votes when it comes to the issue of health care.
Well, another way to put it, they're lying.
Yeah. And they're following the president's lead. A recent Fox News poll shows the popularity of Obamacare scoring higher than the Republican tax plan by 9 points.
9.
And Republicans want in on that, never mind their repeated attempts to kill the law. They tried to kill the law. Florida's Rick Scott becomes the latest in a string of Republicans to claim they support forcing insurers to cover pre-existing conditions, a key protection of Obamacare.
I support forcing insurance companies to cover pre-existing conditions.
I support forcing insurance companies to cover all pre-existing conditions.
I'm fighting to protect pre-existing conditions.
Kevin Cramer voted for guaranteed coverage for pre-existing conditions.
No,
I'm taking on both parties and fighting for those with pre-existing conditions.
In Russia.
Everyone agrees we're going to protect pre-existing conditions.
Oh, my God.
I'm committed to protecting people with pre-existing conditions.
I do protect folks with pre-existing conditions. That is just absurd to think that I wouldn't do that.
In Wisconsin, pre-existing conditions are covered. And as long as I'm governor, they always will be.
Republicans will always protect Americans with pre-existing conditions.
No, they don't. They have taken 9 votes to overturn Obamacare, to repeal it. And it has coverage at community rating, meaning they cannot charge you more because you have a pre-existing condition. What they've done is they stopped the payments into these risk corridor payments to the insurance carriers. And the insurance carriers are freaking out. And they go, well, we got to sell some fraudulent policies and make up the money somehow. Okay, go ahead and sell them. I mean, this is so sick. There is a lawsuit, for God's sake. You can look it up, brought by the state of Texas and signed onto by 19 other red state governors, that says that pre-existing condition coverage violates the Constitution somehow. You know how Rick Scott, our governor, made his money? Ripping off Medicare. It was the biggest Medicare fraud in the history of the world. And Rick Scott got away with it. They settled, he paid, he's done. He never went. This is so sick. This is so insane. I can't. And everybody keeps telling you, they're lying, he's lying, they're lying, that's a lie, this is a lie, that's not true, the media is not your enemy. All they're trying to do is get the news out to you. All they're trying to do is tell you what's true. All they're trying to do is keep you oriented in the world in which you toil and live. All they're trying to do is show you the tax cuts went to the very, very wealthy. You didn't get jack crap out of it, and you never will. Your wages didn't go up. You got about $70 billion handed out in one-time bonuses. Certain people got them. And $720 billion went to corporate stock buybacks. 10-1. And that's the way it was designed. That's what it was meant to do. You got voter suppression going on all over the freaking place now. You got a recording of that man there, Brian Kemp. He was in a donors meeting. Rolling Stone magazine got the recording. I'll play it for you, but I don't think you'll understand what he's saying because it's so piss poor. But what he's saying is he's terrified that Stacey Abrams is getting the vote out. And he's just so scared. And he actually says in the tape recording, if people use and exercise their right to vote, we'll lose. So they're trying to suppress the vote. Here's the recording. There's Chiron on it so you can read it because it's really hard to hear. But it's a real tape. It was given to Rolling Stone magazine by somebody who paid to be at the event.
And as worried as we were going into the start of early voting with the literally tens of millions of dollars that they are putting behind to get out and vote efforts for their base, a lot of that with absentee ballot requests. They have just an unprecedented number of that, which is something that continues to concern us, especially if everybody uses and exercises their right to vote, which they absolutely can, and mails those ballots in. We got to have heavy turnout to offset that.
And that's why if you're using the ballot by mail, they are rejecting your ballot based on someone who isn't a handwriting expert, just someone sitting at the polling place saying, this sounds like a Muslim name. This sounds like an Asian name. Chung, Fung, no. Oh, this sounds like a black family I know in the district. Just chuck that ballot. And they're not even telling you that your ballot's been rejected. They're not even giving you the right to appeal your own freaking signature that is being decided by inexperienced laymen who have no right to reject your ballot based on their belief that your signature is not the right signature. I mean, and it's obviously, disproportionately happening. I think it was 1.4% of white people and 17% of Asian people and 24% of black people. And I mean, it's just unbelievable because he knows the mail-in ballots. Stacey Abrams was able to get people to vote early by mail. And they're freaked. So they're trying. I'm so sorry. That is not democracy. And we lived in a country for a very, very long time after the Voting Rights Act where that didn't happen because you had to pre-clear your state if you were going to do crap like that. And now you don't have to. And so they're doing it again. And people don't even know, what the experience was because you're too young. I'm too young. I don't remember. I never voted before the Voting Rights Act. I didn't get to vote until the 80s. I have never lived in a world like this. I don't want to. This is not America. This is Trumplandia. This is some foreign place with some orange man who is preaching white supremacy. He's orange, for God's sake. He can't be a white supremacist. He's an orange man who lies. And I told you yesterday, when truth dies, so does democracy. We depend on a free press. We depend on truth in advertising. We depend. I mean, and now you're going to be bamboozled again by junk insurance policies. Now you're going to be bamboozled again by a guy who says, I'm a nationalist. And when they asked him, why would you say something so incendiary? I mean, you have these right-wing governments in Hungary and sick people in Romania and the Italian white nationalists and all these. Why would you use the word nationalist? He says, I'm not aware that it's a bad word. He said at his rally, we're not supposed to use this word, but I'm a nationalist. He knows damn well what he's doing. Oh, now all of a sudden he's a babe in the woods, just a sweet little idea that never ever heard that nationalism was a word that you're not supposed to use.
We're putting America first. It hasn't happened in a lot of decades.
Oh, you lying.
We're putting them first. We're taking care of ourselves for a change, folks.
How?
Thank you.
How?
I like that guy, but not that much. Not that much. But radical Democrats want to turn back the clock. For ignore the rule of corrupt, power-hungry globalists. You know what a globalist is, right? You know what a globalist is.
Yeah, someone who lives on a planet.
Is a person that wants the globe to do well, frankly, not caring about our country so much. And you know what? We can't have that. You know, they have a word. It sort of became old-fashioned. It's called a nationalist. And I say, really, we're not supposed to use that word. You know what I am? I'm a nationalist, okay? I'm a nationalist. Nationalist. Nothing else. Use that word. Use that word.
Oh, my God.
He knows you're not supposed to use it because it signifies white supremacy. It signifies a nation based on race. Now, I want to know what race America is. Because if you're not a Native American, you're an immigrant. And your 23andMe is going to show me that. So, what race is he defending? Who in this audience is orange? No one. And he's defending orange people because all he cares about is orange people. All he gives a damn about is his orange ass, his orange self. That is who this man is tearing down institutions for. Oh, we love him. He's like a wrecking ball. Yes, on the side of the donors and himself, not you. Go to RandiRhodes.com for the whole thing and a podcast. Buy a stinking podcast.